here. Hello. I'm not going to move the camera too much. Hi there. I'm David. Hope you're all okay. I'm doing this video today. As you know, this is my music channel, but I do incorporate a fair bit of blogging into it as well, because I don't always do tons of music. So I'm trying to fill in a few gaps. And one of my new ideas is to talk about weight loss, and that's something that I'm involved in actually now with a couple of friends from YouTube, namely Chris and Barry, and we're having a bit of a weight loss challenge to see how much we can lose every week, and that's kind of a three-way thing between the three of us. So we're all going to keep each other updated, but I'm sure as an open forum, anyone who is trying to lose weight with regards to the topic that I'm going to talk about, then everyone could possibly support each other. What I'm going to be talking about today is a medication that I'm on, which is called Mirtazapine. There we go. If you suffer from depression, or you suffer from anxiety, or OCD, or social anxiety disorders, or just general anxiety disorders, this could be one of the drugs that you possibly could be prescribed if your GP felt it was suitable. Initially I went to my GP and he gave me fluoxetine, which is the brand name for Prozac. So I took that first and worked my dosage up to about 60 milligrams for anxiety, stress, general OCD and depression. It was a kind of amalgamation, sort of health anxieties, quite a whole bundle. So we can talk about that at later dates. The fluoxetine gradually kind of pooped out, as I read on a few forums, that some antidepressants poop out, which means they kind of just taper off in their ability to kind of keep your mind on the straight and narrow. So my GP added Mirtazapine to the mix, and as you can see, well, I'm a month in. As you can see, they come in 15 milligram tablets. They're quite small, very easy to swallow. So if you're not good at swallowing pills, then you're going to be okay. They're kind of well known as being very well tolerated. So I have to say, when I took fluoxetine, my first tablet, I was very drowsy for about a week. I could function, but quite lazily, but I wasn't sick. I've taken venlafaxine, which did make me very sick and nauseous and hot initially. Fluoxetine didn't do that, and kind of made me a bit languid for a week or two, so I was a bit tired, but apart from that I was okay. Built up the dosage to about 60 milligrams, and then it kind of tapered off, so Zispin was added to the mix. So anyway, after a month, here I am, and probably about a month ago I was probably a little bit like this, and now I'm an awful lot calmer. You generally know if an antidepressant is working from my vast experience of taking them. If you do not worry about the things that worry you, or if you do, or if those worrying intrusive thoughts do come into your mind, they don't stick for anywhere near as long as what they would have done if you weren't on them. So it kind of blocks off a channel that is a worry channel, and or it constricts it, so you're kind of a little less worried, or a lot less worried. And of course people respond to various antidepressants and anxiety drugs, or any medication in different ways. So this is my experience of Zispin, which I call it. I would say after a month in, my anxiety level has gone down hugely, and my overall level of depression has decreased as well. So from that point of view, it's really fantastic. So if you're suffering from quite severe anxiety or depression, this is a very good choice of medication to take. It will take a couple of weeks to kick in, but it kicked in a lot quicker than Prozac, which was about a month. I was told it would take a month. So if you're suffering from a very severe anxiety disorder, you'll probably be offered some diazepam if you're pretty anxious. So if you're kind of moderately anxious and you need something to tide you over until the mirtazapine kicks in, then as a short-term measure, then I'm sure your GP could prescribe you some diazepam. The jury's out on obviously whether it's a suitable drug, diazepam, because of its addictive properties. Having said that, and having used diazepam, and do use diazepam, it can be a real lifesaver. So it depends on how addictive you feel, a personality you are. So my first dose of mirtazapine a month ago, took it and I fell asleep after about 30 minutes. It completely completely whacked me out, and yeah, I was asleep within half an hour and probably slept about 13 or 14 hours, so I had an incredible long sleep. Having read on a few forums that it was a drug that gives you kind of quite vivid dreams, I didn't really experience that as such. For the first week I sort of felt like I dreamt normally, but then I would say from the second or third week I started to experience some very, very, very vivid and realistic dreams, and there were points where you feel like you've woken up and you're still in the dream, but you're not quite sure if you're dreaming. I don't know if that makes sense, but the dreams are extremely interactive and vary in their content and subject, and people can appear, they can be, you know, like for example, I dreamt last night getting married and it was blissful and I woke up and I was really happy. And I've had other dreams where the content has been a lot more morbid, shall we say, so, or very cryptic. So if you enjoy dreaming, you will certainly have an experience with mirtazapine, that's for sure. So those are the kind of pros, really, and it's very well tolerated. I took it, I wasn't sick. I think off the counter it's kind of almost, some of its other effects can be antihistamine, they can help reduce nausea. So I didn't feel sick when I started to take it, which is always a fear when you take a medication. Is it going to agree with you? It tolerated, I tolerated it very well. Now I'm going to talk about the downside. You can't stop eating when you take this drug. I read on various forums that you take Zispin and you have this endless craving for food. I'm generally pretty fit and active, so I kind of felt that that probably may not be a problem for me. Having said that, the times I've raided the fridge, generally an hour or so after taking Zispin, or you take it before bed because it does knock you out, which is great, especially if part of the problem is not sleeping. But I was initially faced with a dilemma because it made me sleep so long. I took it a little bit earlier, about 7 o'clock, and then I was eating by 8. And of course, when you crave something, it's never healthy. So it was generally chocolates and sweets, crisps, anything I could get my hands on. So then generally during the day, probably about between midday, 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the hunger would really kick in again, because one of its other off-the-counter uses is as an appetite stimulant. So if you're really thin and you're not too concerned about putting on some weight, this and you suffer from depression and anxiety, then this is most definitely the drug for you. If you are overweight and you have issues with food, you will struggle without any doubt to control cravings and whatnot. I've gone from about 11.5 stone to about 12.5 stone. I think that's inclusive of the time that I took Prozac as well. So we're talking in about 4 or 5 months. I would say the weight that I've gained taking Zispin has probably been about 4, 5, 6 pounds, something like that. So quite a considerable amount, but the important thing to remember, which my GP pointed out, is it's not the actual medication that's making you fat. It doesn't slow your metabolism down. Of course, you're becoming less anxious, so you're probably not burning off as many calories, but it's what you're putting inside your mouth. Having said that, on the upside, I've started exercising again. First time in about 6 months. Was very active and cycled a lot, weight trained a lot. So I'm painfully getting back into that now. Saw my GP today and obviously prescribed me Mirtazapine for the 2nd month. And he believes, and I believe too, that actually the weight gain outweighs the positive effects of the medication definitely outweigh the weight gain. So hopefully with the added motivation and stimulus that I'm getting, I'm going to get active again and hopefully control my cravings. And making this public and letting you all know is a big part of that. So I'm about 12 stone 7, so every week we'll give you a bit of a rundown and let you know how I'm doing. Did a 15-minute bicep and push-up workout, which was a bit diddly compared to what I used to do, but very much a result for me at the moment. So if you've got any questions about any antidepressants, I have taken a fair amount in the past, also diazepam as well. Any anxiety, health anxiety I specialise in, please drop some questions to me on this channel, because I think I noticed Adamant recently was talking about his struggles with mental health, and at my workplace I've had to be signed off a few times, and I've been very open and honest and sort of transparent about the fact that we're all human and we have our frailties. So yeah, so this is a combined kind of weight loss challenge with Chris and Barry, and also hopefully a Mirtazapine stroke SRI, whatever you want to call it, forum. So I hope this is useful. I hope some people do drop some questions or want to know anything, because I'd be really happy to answer. As I say, with depression and anxiety and health anxiety, and I can talk to you about CBT as well, something that I'm becoming familiar with too. So quite a long chat, quite a hefty review of Mirtazapine, but hopefully it's a fairly comprehensive one. So if you do have any questions, drop me a line, please subscribe, and you can inbox me directly as well on my channel. So, and I always read my messages, so hopefully I can get back. We can have a chat. Take care, see you soon.